That's the sound of dry brush burning. Breaking news here. Firefighters battling this new brush fire in Ventura County. It's called the Otto Fire. It erupted in Oxnard last night. This one, at this point, about 56 acres, zero containment. You see airdrops, though, even overnight, so that's good news. And the other good news, the forward progress for this one has been stopped. About 75 firefighters are on the scene, and evacuation orders have been issued for the area. This comes as people around there are under extremely critical fire weather. And this morning, much of Southern California remains under a red flag warning. Thank you for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Netta Iranpour.
I'm Eric Connor. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday. Overnight, SDG&E issued a new round of public safety power shutoffs due to the fire danger. 803 customers are without power this morning. That number has been going up by the hour. Over 54,000 customers could be impacted.
We have team coverage here. CBS 8's Regina Yorita live in Poway, where people may lose electricity. We do want to start with meteorologist Evan Irani to tell us about this weather impact alert. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning. Yeah, that red flag warning stays in effect all the way through tomorrow night. 6 p.m. is that expiration time, so we are right in the middle of it here on Tuesday. It does not just cover San Diego County. It covers about 7 counties. You can see how it spans all the way up through Riverside, San Bernardino, LA, Ventura, all the way up into San Luis Obispo. So a fair amount of ground covered on that red flag warning, meaning if a fire starts, it can spread rapidly. Reason for it is the Santa Ana setup overhead, trough of low pressure and ridge of high pressure very close to each other, and that dramatic change in pressure that you see where those arrows are is leading to a dramatic amount of wind. That's how we see that wind develop. So that offshore wind is going to lead to high fire danger. We're watching as that moon is just about to set. That's that full moon out over the ocean. In the meantime, though, we're also about 20 minutes away from that sunrise on the opposite side. So this is west facing. We'll watch for that sunrise in just a bit. That'll be east facing. But for more on the new power shutoffs that we're talking about, I know it seems like day after day we're talking about these red flag warnings and potential for power shutoffs. I want to send things out to CBS 8's Regina Yorita. She's live in Poway, one of the communities that could be potentially affected by those power shutoffs. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Evan. And right now, SDG&E says 801 customers are without power. It's mainly in the Far East County. But once they start to notice those winds picking up, those weather impacts, and potentially fire risk conditions, it could end up happening in areas like San Diego, Rancho Bernardo, and even here in Poway. So it's always best to be prepared. In fact, they're saying that nearly 55,000 customers across the county are at risk for a potential shutoff. Power shutoffs are a last resort measure taken during extreme wildfire weather. The company says it's to prevent the electric system from sparking a fire. We have followed closely what thousands of people are dealing with in LA, and right now an electrical tower in Eden Canyon is being investigated as a possible origin of the deadly fire near Pasadena. In 2021, the Dixie Fire, the second largest wildfire in California's history, was sparked when power lines owned by a utility company came into contact with a tree. So this is why these public safety power shutoffs continue here in San Diego. SDG&E says they understand being without power is disruptive, but the company is focused on providing a variety of resources for its customers while it works to keep communities safe during these extreme wildfire weather conditions. Now, if you're one of the customers who could be affected, you should have already received an alert, in which case there are some preparations that you can make ahead of time that can help. So first, having an emergency bag, and that means extra food, water, clothes, and necessary supplies. You can also prepare by unplugging electronics, charging phones and power banks, and having a secure backup power source if you need a medical electronic device. So back out here, also make sure that you have a full tank of gas. There are certain gas stations that are not open. They're closed during these power outages, so definitely keep that in mind. But SDG&E as well as CAL FIRE will continue to monitor these weather impacts and wildfire conditions for now. I'll send it back to you guys.
Regina, thanks for the update there. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles County, those two massive wildfires still raging now a week later. The Palisades Fire and the Eaton Fire have killed at least 24 people, destroyed more than 12,000 structures. The Palisades Fire has scorched nearly 24,000 acres. It is 17% contained this morning. The Eaton Fire, a little more than 14,000 acres scorched, and now 35% contained. Now investigators are looking into what caused these deadly and destructive fires.
Right now, authorities are investigating after San Diego police officers shot and killed a man in the East Village.
This happened last night inside of an apartment in the 1100 block of E Street. And CBS 8's Chris Groh is live at the scene now with some new information from the Sheriff's Department here. Chris?
Yeah, we do have some new information, some context here about the officers involved in this because they will now be handling the investigation, that being the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, even though this involved San Diego Police Department officers. Let's start from the very beginning. What we know is that the San Diego Police Department was called here because there were reports of a man harming himself, a suicidal, again, claiming that they were going to commit suicide, that they were armed with a knife. Now, those officers cleared about 6 people from the apartment before entering into that apartment where they found that person with the knife. They gave orders for that person to drop the knife. They had appeared to have already cut themselves, that they were injured in some way. That person then, according to the San Diego Police Department, refused to put down that knife. And then that is at one point then that shooting occurred. That person was then shot multiple times. They were taken to the hospital after they were, again, given CPR by first responders here on scene, but they did pass from those gunshot wounds. They did die there at the hospital. Now, what we know is that no officers were injured, that there was evidence that was gathered. An investigation is now underway to make sure that, again, to go over every detail here, because this is what happens whenever you have a law enforcement officer that uses their firearm. It'll be eventually transferred to the San Diego County District Attorney's Office to determine if there's any liability here. What we have learned from the San Diego County Sheriff's Department is that these 2 officers, that they are assigned to the Central Division and have been with the department for about 4.5 years. Of course, we are going to continue to wait to see and ask for updates as time goes on. But to continue to stay up to date with this story, just stay here with CBS 8 and CBS8.com. For now, we're going to send things back to you, Eric and Neto.
Chris, thank you for that. And remember, help is always available. The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. San Diego's Access and Crisis Line, 888-724-7240.
And for updates on this developing story, be sure to stay with CBS 8. You can also go to our website or download the CBS 8 app.
Time right now, 6:37 here on this Tuesday morning. And it's incredible to see the moon and how clear you can see planets and stars. I mean, what a night we had.
No clouds blocking this.
No, there is limited moisture out there. So, I mean, we talk about that being both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that we get this beautiful view outside. We have some fantastic days ahead, and we are looking at cloudless skies. But that is not a great thing when we consider how dry it is in the atmosphere. Not only is it dry in the atmosphere, but also the fuel for those potential fires is very dry. All the vegetation out there hasn't seen any rain in the last about 5 months. We are seeing the driest water year so far since October 1st. So that combination of ingredients doesn't bode well for the fire crews that are watching for a fire to potentially start or spread. Peak wind gusts, ones that have already been recorded, have come in between 30 and 50 miles per hour, just about exactly as we expected. Very windy out there. Combination of ingredients is strong easterly winds that is continuing to pull in very dry air from the east, and then that critical fire danger. So this is a combination of ingredients that we're going to have through Wednesday that shows wind speeds in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range and the wind gusts upwards of 40 and 50 miles per hour at times. Winds die down, and we'll watch as a trough of low pressure arrives as we get into Thursday. That's going to be the first day where we start to notice a change in the setup overhead. We're going to start to usher in a bit more moisture from Thursday all the way into the upcoming weekend, and that'll even allow for maybe some showers to come about. That chance for showers between Thursday and Sunday climbs progressively, but a 15% chance of showers also means an 85% chance of dry skies. So we are not looking at a great chance for any rain in the forecast, but I'd say instead look at that as a great opportunity for more moisture in the atmosphere. And more moisture means a smaller fire risk out there. However, fire crews are still going to stay on high alert up until we get some notable rain in the forecast. Temperatures are warming up today compared to yesterday. Widespread 60s and 70s out there. 71 for Fallbrook, Miramar, and El Cajon. 69 for Poway and Escondido. 68 for downtown San Diego. The next 7 days are looking very nice across the coastline. Notice that tomorrow warms up to 71 degrees. We cool from 71 to 61, so a 10-degree drop in temperatures as we add that moisture to the atmosphere. Red flag warning and high wind warning are prompting the weather impact alert days we have for today and tomorrow. And then we'll watch as those temperatures inland slide by about 15 degrees with that incorporation of cloud cover over the weekend. It's going to be a cool, cloudier weekend, Saturday and Sunday, both along the coast and inland. We've got 60s by the mountains. We've got 50s. So it's going to be a much different upcoming weekend than what we just wrapped up because we're going to have a lot more cloud cover and cooler temperatures. But in the meantime, today and tomorrow, it's sunshine all around and those warmer than normal temperatures too. Beyond that, we're hoping to finally get a more notable opportunity for rain in the forecast, although so far we're still not seeing all that much of a chance in our future models over the next 7 to 10 days or so. Let's take a look at traffic. It's quiet out there on the roads. We've seen a couple more crashes pop up and more congestion on the northbound lanes at the 805 and the 5. CBS8.com/traffic can walk you through this multitude of crashes that we've just recently seen pop up.